So yesterday we began our discussion about this disruptive question. It is impossible unless. The first step is what we discussed yesterday. You have to believe it is possible. Belief is 90% of the creation process. You've all heard the adages before. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Or as one of my mentors, Paul J. Meyer, used to say, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon, most inevitably will come to pass. So trust that you are 90% there if you sincerely believe it is possible. It will activate your brain to see all the possibilities, all the connections, all the ways that you can come up with the ideas, the innovations, and the solutions that you need to make it possible. I'll give you an example from my personal experience. When I first got into real estate, I was only 20 years old. Really no business being in the real estate business, mind you. But I really wanted to be successful. A, because I was told I couldn't be by a veteran agent in the office, and B, because my dad was the broker and I really wanted to make him proud. I met a guy at a seminar who really expanded my thinking. I was grilling him with questions, and he asked me what my goals were. I said I wanted to make it into the top 10 producers in the office. There were 44 veteran agents in that office. He said, well, why not shoot for number 1? I said, but it's my first year. I'm just learning the business. He responded very simply, you have to set a goal. You might as well set it high. I said, okay, but how? Simple, he said, leverage. Right there, he had me write down everything I was spending my time on doing real estate. I made a long list. Prospecting, showing property, going on broker's tour, researching properties on the MLS, designing flyers, dropping the flyers off the property, getting buyers pre-qualified, going to agent networking events, doing open houses, meeting an agent to show property, canvassing a farm, attending the office meeting, etc., etc. Then he had me rank each activity as A, B, or C. A equaled, it predictably leads to closing new sales. B, it sometimes can, maybe, might lead to new sales. And C, it's administrative and does not lead to new sales. Then he said simply, get an assistant and delegate every C. All those things that have to get done, but they don't have to get done by you. Then stop doing every B and only do A, period. Never anything else. He had me do the same with where I was spending my marketing resources too. And that's why I stopped doing institutional or brand advertising in magazines or on bus benches or on shopping carts that did not have a predictable and measurable direct return on closing new sales, and only do direct response marketing to highly targeted and qualified prospect groups. Well, guess what? The thing I thought was totally impossible became not that difficult after all. After I identified those things that gave me the greatest leverage, I spent the same or less money in marketing and advertising than the top agents in the office. But I got a 10x, 10 times ROI on mine based on how it was spent. And in that first year, I went from a total newbie, starting at 0 at the very bottom, to number 1 in the entire office. Here's what I want you to understand. Most people are overwhelmed by all the things they need to do to change and to improve. They think they need to do more in order to achieve more, but that is false. From a time and a resource standpoint, you are probably already doing all you can. You probably can't actually do or spend more. The good news is you don't have to. It's never a time or a resource problem. You have all the time and all the resources that you need already to achieve a lot more than you are now, and a lot faster. You just need to figure out how to better allocate what you have. Refocus your time and resources on those activities that give you leverage. When you do this, you can 3, 5, or even 10x your goals, often doing fewer things, spending less time doing them, and achieve those supersized goals in a much shorter time frame. You can, as Steve proved, distort reality. So, follow the formula. Take your top business goal now and at least 3x it. Make a list of all the things that are demanding your time and resources as a business right now. Classify every activity as A, B, or C. A equals it predictably leads to achieving your number one goal. B, it might, maybe, but not predictably help you achieve your number one goal. And C, it's trivial, it's novel, or it's administrative, and it doesn't lead directly to achieving your number one goal. Get an assistant and delegate every C. Stop doing every B and only do A, period. Never anything else. Do this throughout your organization. Now, you might be saying, Darren, are you saying that even my lower level people should delegate to assistants? If they can hire VAs to do GSD work at a much lower rate than you pay your team member so that you can keep them focused on vital, high-value work that directly leads to them achieving their number one goal for you, then yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. The delta between the cost of a VA and what you pay your team member on an hourly rate is your leveraged arbitrage. It's free. It's free money. To not understand that simple math is a massive mistake. All right. Now be bold, Darren Daily community. Tell us in the comments below what your big goal is, by when, and what your number one most leveraged activity is to achieving that goal. And I look forward to seeing how great of a year you are planning to have.